Vapors climb into the night air in elegant wispy streams like little fingers and disappear. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Light snow is falling. Everyone is asleep. The house is dark and still. The ideal time to grab a glass of wine, strip down, and hop into the hot tub. Wintertime always dries out my sinuses, and the steam from the 99-degree water is refreshing and moisturizes my nasal passageways. I lean back, close my eyes, and listen to the comforting water churn and bubble all around me. Nothing in the world is wrong right now. I sit content, relishing this perfect moment in time. That's when I hear it. Faint stirring and the falling of debris coming from the rooftop of the house. I think to myself, son of a bitch, there's somebody on my roof. I reach for my towel to cover myself when I see it. A long, shaky hand emerges from the rooftop. It explores around, touching each one of the roof shingles as if it's trying to find just the right spot to grip. The other hand appears and does the same. Then a third and fourth hand emerge. As it pulls itself up further over the edge of the roof, its thin and long body comes into full view. It resembles a short-toned male, except for the 2 extra arms. Its skin is jet black and rough as if its body was charred and burned. I immediately lower myself into the steamy water as far as I can. The water level is reaching just below my nose. I press myself against a corner of the tub, hoping the darkness and billowing steam will hide my presence from this terrifying creature scuttling on my rooftop, just 10 feet away. In spite of its trembling, it moves from the rooftop to the edge of the house with the purposeful movement of a tarantula, lifting one hand high into the air before bringing it down, feeling around the surface before moving the other limb. Then it does the impossible. It lowers itself over the edge and begins crawling on the wall. The comparison of this man spider is now complete. Gasp from surprise, taking in a little water through my nose. I snort and contain my coughs as well as I can. I slide deeper into the water, my eyes just above the waterline now, like I'm pretending to be some silly alligator. It jerks its head piercingly upward, sniffs the air. My eyes widen. It flicks its head to the left. Tears swell in my eyes from fear. It twists its head sharply to the right and inhales the air. I press myself harder into the corner of the tub, trying to vanish from sight. It resumes snaking alongside my house like a nightmarish arachnid. It goes from window to window, checking to see if anyone will open. It meticulously checks each window frame and presses a clubbed hand against each window pane. Flashes of panic fill my heart at the thought of this horrid thing gaining entry to my home. I try to think of anything within my immediate reach that I could use as a weapon. Luck seems to be on my side. Every window it checks appears to be tightly shut and locked. It drops its shoulders in disappointment and slowly makes its way to the edge of the house, leaps high into the air, and lands on my neighbor's house roof. I slowly rise from the water and breathe in a silent breath of relief, knowing that my next-door neighbors were gone for the weekend. I slowly slip out of the warm comfort of the tub's water and reach for my towel. One foot and then the other. The water drips from my body as I exit the hot tub. I freeze from the crash of the broken wine glass. I am paralyzed with gut-wrenching fear from the realization the glass was sitting on the edge of the towel. Damn the modesty. I run butt naked for the door. 10 feet. It lifts its head and fixes its gaze in my direction and shrieks a god-awful scream. 8 feet. It leaps in the air and lands on the roof's edge. 4 feet. I slip on the icy porch, skinning my elbows and knees. 2 feet. It drops to the ground and scurries on the snow. Yellow drool is prominently standing out in contrast to its obsidian flesh. 1 foot. I lay against the doorknob slipping in my wet, trembling hands. Hissing and gurgling is growing louder and stronger. 0. I pull myself inside and past the door's frame, slam the door, and lock it. Not a second later, a crash of something slamming into the wooden frame booms across the dark house. I lay with my back against the door in case it tries to force its way through. But no sounds come from the other side. I turn and slowly lift my head to peer out through the window, and I meet eyes with the thing. Only a thin pane of glass separating us. It glares at me intently, then in a flash it's gone. That was 2 months ago. It still comes most nights. Not every night, but most nights. I check every window and every door to make sure they're locked. I dread the day that I forget to lock that one single window. I dread the day that it finds a way inside.